What I love about Wall Street and the stock market is it's so honest. Because you are playing with money, and money talks. Money is honest. There's no room for facades. There's no room for lies and deception. You're putting your money in what you believe is going to return wealth. You're not putting your money in things that you don't believe in. You're not putting money in things that are propaganda, but you are putting your money into companies that you believe are going to return wealth. Now, the market might get things wrong. It might overreact. It might have some, opportunities to buy and sell, which, that's the whole point of what a strategic investor, someone who is doing research so they know those opportunities and do it. But Wall Street, the stock market, is not doing it for any other reason than they just got it wrong. And they're honest. I love that about them. Welcome to How to Build a Tent, the podcast on how to make you successful. My name is Matt Williams. Today, we're going to be talking about how socialism kills and why it's important for us to fight. It is so important for us to fight. I'm preaching to the choir. I have a feeling most people are capitalists that are listening to this show. You love capitalism. You want to use capitalism to grow your wealth, to add value to your community. But I just want to emphasize in this show why it's important for us to fight. And before we get into that, I want to tell you one way that you can fight is by supporting the podcasts that are bringing the items to the forefront, the ones that are helping equip you to fight. Fight, Laugh, Feast Network. We are part of that. Go over to fightlaughfeast.com, put in HtBT in the memo field. You'll get a mug. You will get a pint glass, and you'll get tons of great content that is continually coming out. David does such a great job of producing and bringing out exclusive content for you to help you guys fight, laugh, and feast. Go over to fightlaughfeast.com, put in HtBT in the memo field, become a member, help support us, keep these podcasts going, keep the message going out of the Lordship of Jesus in every area in life. And oh man, do we need Jesus. Lord Jesus, come. Please, God. First, before we get into that, sorry, I just want to get into the topic today. If you have any questions, comments, you want to reach out to me, matt@howtobuildatent.com. You can find me on all the social media sites, How to Build a Tent. And one last thing of housekeeping before we jump in is I have been slacking, and I apologize for posting the audio on my YouTube channels. I will get that done this week. I've had some of you guys asking me, like, where is your YouTube? Where are the shows? And I'm sorry, I just have not been a good steward of that. I will make sure to get that going. I've had so much going on that I've just had to prioritize things and it just hasn't fit in. I apologize. I will get on that. All right. For the first thing I wanted to hit, and these articles are all going to relate. And to me, it is the same narrative. And it's the war. It's the war between capitalism, freedom, private property, the mindset, the economy structure, the government arrangement that allows you to do what you want to do with your own property, and you live with the consequences, the positives of generating wealth and the negatives, going bankruptcy, or socialism, theft of your stuff to give it to somebody else who hasn't earned it. And this is the dichotomy. These are the two sides of the battle. And you have an opportunity to voice your opinion, to support with your wealth, to support with what God has given you, one side or the other. There's no neutral ground because both sides are fighting and one side's going to win and one side's going to lose. There's no neutral. First story, Norway. They want to add up to $100 billion in U.S. stocks. Why would they be doing that? Because the American system, what Trump has been able to do with our economy, deregulating, lowering taxes, creating an environment for growth, is attractive compared to Europe. Norway is going to be trying to take out their funds. They believe they have too much money in Europe based on the economic forecast of Europe, which is heavily government involved, heavily social programs, high taxes, low freedom. There is not a great chance of you ever getting out of the lower class to go to the higher class, as the socialists would say, or it is really hard for someone with a little bit of money, to gain land in Europe. It's not like that here in the United States. Norway sees the tea leaves, they see the forecast, and they know that the U.S. right now is the place to be. And so they want to pull $100 billion from Europe and put it into the United States. It's great news. That is so great. And it's not because of the socialist. It's because of the free market capitalist principles. It's because wages are going up in the United States. It's because people are making great decisions with their own property. It's because the government isn't telling them what to do. That is why Norway is trying to put more of their money into the United States stock market, because this is the place to be, nowhere else in the world. And yet we have people here in the United States who are saying we need to be more like Europe. Well, the honest stock market, Wall Street, the ones that won't bet money on an agenda, but they will bet money on what is going to return them wealth, including other countries like Norway. They know that's not true. The United States should not be more like Europe. It should be more free. It should be more like what it was founded as. And people are putting their money where their mouth is. People are voting with their money. And so are countries like Norway. I tweeted an article on Twitter where it was decrying the excess food we have and the amount of waste that is wasted for food that is spoiled. Think about that. The world is producing so much food that a lot of it goes to waste. And you'd be like, oh, that's terrible. There are poor people in the world. We have not always had this efficient production of food. And it's not because governments told us what to produce. And it's not because governments told businesses what to price their products at. It's because free markets were invading countries, starting with the United States and going off to the ends of the earth in emerging markets, and allowed people to make decisions on their own with their private property. And it resulted in overproduction of food. And so I retweeted that and I said, tell that to Venezuela, who is starving right now because of socialist policies. Venezuela, one of the richest countries in the world, at one time, is starving to death because of socialism, because of big government. This fight is happening right now in the United States. And if you're not fighting for freedom, if you're not fighting for success, if you're not fighting for capitalism, you want to go back to the days where there was not excess food production. You want to live in a Venezuelan state. Oh, you may believe that capitalism is good. You may think that. But if you're not fighting for it, you're not going to live in it for much longer. If you don't fight for it, you're not going to live in it much longer. And you deserve it. You deserve Venezuela. We deserve it. Last article I want to talk about. Again, same theme. Socialism, capitalism, government versus free markets, individual rights, private property. Toby shared an article from CrossPolitic on how some people on the de Blasio staff wants to eliminate all of the programs in schools that are tailored to people that are intellectual, that achieve, all of those special programs that they have in school to help people learn more and to be more educated. They want to eliminate them in the name of fairness. And this is the most frustrating thing in the world. Socialism does not make everyone better. It makes everybody worse. Everybody. It doesn't make them equal. Some people are still going to be better off than others, but everybody is going to be worse off. And they're going after our children. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Do you want everyone to be worse off? If you don't fight for this, if you don't get up on social media and state your case, if you don't inform yourself and learn the arguments for why we need freedom and the benefits that have come from capitalism, we're all going to end up like Venezuela. And if you don't fight for it, you deserve it. To be successful, we need to fight these battles because they result in so many negative effects if we lose. Starvation, ignorance, captivity. We're putting on chains that were broken off from the blessings of capitalism, from using the foundational principles in the Bible. That's where capitalism comes from. The idea that you are responsible for your own talents. You're responsible for what God has given you of His to take care of. You are to be a good steward. And all of that is taken away when the government tells you what to do because you're not free. And government grows outside of its sphere. It grows outside of its authority, and everybody suffers. Everybody is worse off. So get in the fight. How do you get in the fight? Educate yourself. Read books. Whenever you have a conversation at work, talk. Be bold. Don't fear man. Make those comments on Facebook. Share those funny memes that make the arguments for socialism ridiculous, that just show how ridiculous socialism is. We have to fight. We have to fight, or we're going to end up like Venezuela. Now let's go out and fight. Let's laugh. Let's feast. And thank God that He is faithful through all of this. And let's go out and be successful together. God bless.